Hi, my name is Jessica Bishop. I completed my special population project on reproductive and neonatal health care. So I'm going to explain perinatal social work. Perinatal social work, they are employed in a variety of settings. Perinatal social workers help individuals, families, and communities to respond to psychosocial issues that emerge during the period of pre-pregnancy through an infant's first year of life. They work to support women and families as they navigate medical challenges, process complex information about pregnancies and neonates, which is birth to 1 year, and access community supports. They help with planning and nurture hope as families move towards the future. They also work in hospitals, but can work in community settings. Some of the community settings that they can work in, it's a very wide range of settings. They can work in pediatric hospices, adoption agencies with birth mothers and or adoptive parents, early intervention programs, prenatal drug cessation programs, prenatal diagnosis clinics, foster care, parenting education, and many other settings. So they have a wide variety of settings. They provide families with support, counseling, case management, advocacy, guidance, and resources. The goal is to make sure every baby and every family are supported with competent, compassionate care. So this population is different from other populations. You are not just working with the mother, but you're also working with their unborn child. So you're working with the pregnant mother as well as their unborn child. So you have two people to think about. But when their child is born, their child does become a patient of yours. It works through the loss of a child, substance use during pregnancy, the woman's pregnancy, the birth of the child, complications with pregnancy, etc. So it works through a very wide variety of situations. It can work in infertility. It can work in really anything dealing with pregnancy or reproductive for the mother. So I chose to narrow in on substance use during pregnancy. So drinking alcohol during pregnancy increases the risk of spontaneous abortion, low birth weight, small brain volume, heart defects, varying levels of mental retardation, and facial abnormalities. Many studies have documented that babies born to women who use cocaine during pregnancy are prematurely delivered, have low birth weight, and have smaller head circumference than babies not exposed to cocaine in utero. Studies have indicated that infants born to women with heroin dependence are more frequently premature, tend to have low birth weight, and often experience a range of perinatal complications and abnormalities. So some challenges specific to this population, which is the population of pregnant women who are using substances. Women do not report using substances. They do not always report. Some women will, but it's very small. It's very common for underreporting, however, meaning that actual numbers are almost certainly higher. So data from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health indicated that approximately 285,000 pregnant women, that's 12.6%, used alcohol or illicit drugs in the past 30 days. So like I said, underreporting is common, however, meaning that actual numbers are almost certainly higher. Well, there is a challenge of lack of prenatal care for the woman and child due to fear of judgment. So there are several challenges when working with this population. You don't always know what substances they're taking. You don't always know how to treat them because of those substances, because they're not always honest, because there is a stigma and they are afraid that they're going to be judged. Working to address these challenges. So no judgment. That is the first thing. You cannot judge them. You have to be on their side, help them, get them to be honest with you, build that trust, build that relationship, build that rapport. Harm reduction is also very huge. If they are using, make sure they're using clean needles. Make sure they are using the same time of day every day. Make sure they're writing down how much they're using. Make sure if they are using that they're not using alone in case anything happens. There is a lot of harm reduction that can be done. So if they are continuing to use, that harm reduction is key. Providing resources. Resources are huge. There are so many resources out there. There are Mommy and Me programs, rehab programs. There's 2 in PA that I know of, and I think there are more, but off the top of my head, there's Samara House and Liberté. Both of those, they do take in pregnant women who can be in there when their baby is born as a mother-baby program, who will work with them to make sure they're getting the prenatal care and getting what they need to work on them while they're using, if they're using, to make sure that they can work on them, giving them other things. Being a support. So making sure they have support. They don't always have support, unfortunately. They don't always have the support of their family, so providing them with some supports. So support groups are helpful. Educating them. Not every parent or woman knows how harmful drugs are to a baby. They don't always know what it could do to them. They don't know that it passes through, and anything that you're ingesting or taking, it's going to your child, which I think education is huge to help them understand. Resources needed as a social worker. So there is something called the National Association of Perinatal Social Workers. That is very helpful. I did find that website and it was very helpful to me, and there's a lot of information on there, as well as other support groups. There are several support groups that you can join as a social worker, especially while working with this population. It can be trying at times. Coworkers as well. Always rely on your coworkers, your supervisors, anyone that you work with, because like I said, we need support just as much, as well as the NASW. Resources needed for the patient. So there are several support groups that the patient can use: Moderation Management, Smart Recovery, Narcotics Anonymous, and Alcoholics Anonymous. Make sure that they're getting good prenatal care. It's very important to make sure that they're receiving the correct prenatal care. So prenatal care is so important, especially when they're pregnant. There are women who have gone their whole pregnancy without having any prenatal care. We need to make sure that they are coming into a judgment-free zone and they're getting the prenatal care they need. Family supports, it's not always a possibility, but sometimes the supports are there. So definitely diving in a little bit more to find those family supports. Possible inpatient treatment. Like I said, there are 2 in PA that I know of off the top of my head that do take in women who are pregnant and will let them continue through treatment when they have their baby, so it becomes a Mommy and Me, and it does help them. They're pretty good programs, and it helps them get on their feet. Additional professionals and roles. So we have the patient's OBGYN, doctor, and nurses that you can work with. So when they're going through pregnancy, as well as when they give birth, those people are very important for them. Patient's primary doctor, because they could have other medical issues that they're dealing with, as well as the substance use treatment professionals. If they are in treatment, that's huge. That is going to be a big role for them, because that's going to become a support for them. Even if it's outpatient treatment, it'll still be a big role for them. There is medication management that they can do, such as Suboxone or methadone or things like that. So that substance use treatment the professionals will be a big help. Distinguishing self and various skills. So remaining non-judgmental is huge. That's so important. Remain on the patient's team and continue to support her. It's not always going to have those supports, but you can be someone that build that rapport with her and gain her trust and get her to talk to you and be honest with you. That is huge, because then you're going to find out all the information, and you're not just working with her, but also there's a child who's going to be born. Also, you can use motivational interviewing to gain more information and knowledge, but also just listening to her and using your active listening skills to gain more knowledge. These are my resources. Working with substance abuse women is definitely a very special population, and we need to go in to make sure that they are receiving the correct services. because it's not just them, but it's also their child. To make sure that they both are receiving services is very important. Thank you.